This is what you signed up for, streamer. The vitriol of nerd rage. Okay, so I'm gonna put back either Wandering Mind or Prismatic Ending. We're playing against the Luris deck, so the ending should be pretty good. But I think my curve is gonna be turn 2 Priest, and then if they kill the Priest, turn 3 Wandering Mind. If they don't, I get Unmarked Grave for Archon. Love to have the ending in this hand, though. Alright, pretty happy about that. Alright, our draw seems to have lined up well against our opponents. You love to see it. Don't have 6, I draw Grief, I guess. You don't have a white card for Solitude, but I'm happy to have it in the hand. Alright, Ornithopter to Chomp. Their hand is Colossal. Okay, they play the Hammer. Do they have Paladin? They have Core Outfitter, which is, you know, we have Pure Steel Paladin at home. I'm gonna take 11, I guess. And then we can attack, and then Yorion in the hand for a white card if we miss on the white card here. We can also Wandering Mind looking for a white card, but it's like, I sure would like to not brick, because they can get the, they can get Shadow Spear here. They got no cards in their hand, so we should just do this. Shout out to Yorion. What cards am I spoiling for Alchemy? I think they just took all my preview cards away forever. They took all 0 of my preview cards away and then put me on the moratorium. Yeah, so if they drew a Paladin or Outfitter, then they could get Shadow Spear here and then get me. Yeah, I just think of Full Metal Alchemist every time someone talks about the new format. Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. Alright, so bring in these cards, got the Griefs. Dream a Wandering Mind, a Mulldrifter, 3 Teferis, and our Rites. Is the sideboard plan right? Hype for Fix Hogak and Modern Horizons, Alchemy Jumpstart, yeah. I've seen a lot of people, I like this deck better than the 60 card list. I've seen a lot of people complaining about Alchemy affecting Historic. I do think Arena's economy is big garbage and needs a lot of fixing. I'm on board with that. But also, like, isn't Historic just, like, kind of nonsense already? Like, it's just kind of a big clusterfuck of nonsense. It's like, it's getting a little weirder, but I don't know, it's hard for me to get too heated about Historic being weird anymore. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to really get invested in Historic being weird. You know what I mean? But now it will be dead. Yeah, I don't know. This, maybe you couldn't tell, but the whole dead thing is a bit of a, I just don't understand how people can, like, how no matter what Wizards does, it does not matter what Wizards does. There's somebody saying that this decision is going to kill something. It's going to kill the game or kill Magic, and it's just like so hyperbolic and so dramatic. And every single time, no matter what it is, this kills the game. Mim, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate ya. So if they take the Solitude, I could reanimate the Solitude. We do die to their hand being Sigarda's Aid Hammer, right? No, we don't. We don't. They didn't take Ephemerate. Wow. Maybe they can kill my Priest. They have another Thoughtseize. Okay, they're definitely taking Ephemerate now, right? Okay. Alright, well, I'll let you draw a card. But I should probably just put a Serra's Emissary into play, right? Make you have a Path to Exile. I'm in a make my opponent have it kind of mood today. But at the end of the day, my only interest when it comes to Magic the Gathering is the game fun? Are there formats for people to enjoy? That's all I really care about, you know? Is do I enjoy playing the game? Do other people enjoy playing the game? And, yeah, nothing else really matters to me. Alright, now that I have Ephemerate up, I think I'm, can't lose. Especially because they just die in 2 turns. Watsy Down's Pioneer to kill Frontier. Yeah, Frontier was never really a thing. It was just kind of like a blatant cash grab from... Like, it wasn't like ever Watsy affiliated, you know? I'm totally willing to like eat these words if it never happens, but it makes no sense. It makes no sense for people to think that Wizards is trying to turn Magic into a digital only game. It's always been like this like fear mongering, based in nothing, like conspiracy theory. It's so dumb for people to think that. It's just like an easy thing to say that Wizards is trying to kill paper Magic. They're not. They're definitely not. It makes them a ton of money. What they are trying to do is make digital Magic and paper Magic coexist. That is what they're trying to do, and have a lot of different ways to engage with the game, digital and paper, in a ton of different formats. They're not trying to kill paper Magic. And making digital Magic better does not kill paper Magic either. This is the first time I've seen anyone defend WotC. I am critical of WotC when I have things to be critical of WotC of, but there's also people who just like blindly berate WotC for every little tiny thing that they do, and it's like it's just so tiring for me, who has to bear the vitriol of the nerd range every single time WotC makes a decision. You know what I mean? But I'm plenty critical of WotC when they deserve criticism. All right, Grieve, Pitch Malik, Rebirth, very good against our hand. And when I see the dumb stuff like Wizards is trying to kill paper Magic, it just makes no sense, and your argument, it just comes off really poorly too. Xanatos, thank you for tier 1. Appreciate ya. And like, oh, okay, well, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty dang good one. Holy crap. We do have to draw a blue source. I think they should have taken the... I think they should have maybe taken the Mending. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't even stream Arena, but like we're talking about it because people like are interested. It's the new thing, and it's my stream, and I can talk about whatever I want as the real answer. But yeah, this is my opinion. My opinion is I hope Alchemy is a good and fun format, and and if it's not, then that's not a good thing. That's all I care about.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
I guess I'm gonna main phase this because I could find Grief potentially for the Cauldra. Let's discard second Mending. So they Cauldra put me to 2, then I Archon of Cruelty, they sack Stoneforge Mystic, and I go to 5. So if I draw a white source, or I guess any land for turn here, or white source off the Archon trigger, I get to Ephemerate the Archon, and I'm in really good shape. Okay, missed on the first look. Kind of weird to draw Ephemerate instead. I can also draw Solitude. Okay, this means I have to chump block here, take 4, go to 1, and then I can draw exactly Solitude or die. They're not trying to kill paper Magic, but they definitely make lots more money digital side. They best interest digital or paper, financially speaking. I mean, yes, they have obviously they have a vested interest in digital magic, and I don't know that there's not a problem with that. There's plenty of room for digital magic and paper magic to coexist. You know, there's plenty of room. There is no problem, in my opinion, with both formats coexisting, or both things coexisting. It is not an inherently bad thing that Wizards wants digital magic to succeed. They also want paper magic to succeed. I'm someone that spends most of my life, or most of my entire working career, is digital magic. You know, it's not Arena, but it is digital magic, and it's something that they're also supporting. Digital magic is an incredibly important part of the game, especially during a pandemic. You know, it's just is what it is. Tate, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate you. Don't want to mulligan too aggressively in this matchup. I'm going to keep this. Mike, thank you for 4 months. Appreciate you. Paper magic will always have digital magic never will. Obviously, yes. I love paper magic. I'm on board with you guys. Paper magic is the best thing in the entire world. Digital magic is also important. Digital magic is also important. Nobody's killing paper magic is what I'm trying to say. It's not going, you know, it's not going to cease to exist. In fact, the overwhelming love that you guys have for paper magic is also a love that the majority of people that work for Wizards of the Coast have as well. I'm going to get Serra's Emissary here because of Sanctifier and Vec, which their deck plays a lot of the time. The love you have for paper magic is also the love, everybody at Wizards has. I would say the people that make the game, I would say 95% of people working there have the same love for paper magic you do. It's not going anywhere. In fact, the person who's behind Alchemy, I believe, the Donald Smith is someone that I knew when I was a paper grinder. We hung out a couple times. He's a really, really nice guy. He really, really loves the game. He is the one behind Alchemy too. You know, it's there is you guys are, what I'm trying to say is the general nerd rage towards Wizards is really misplaced. I think you can have a lot of nerd rage towards them stealing prize pool from Worlds, them destroying the Pro Tour, them taking away organized play completely, their arena economy being really bad. This is where good nerd rage goes, or this is these are good criticisms. Baseless conspiracies about Wizards trying to destroy paper magic is ridiculous and pointless, and I'm tired of it. Okay, I was thinking I'm gonna bounce the Germ first. I don't know if they have outs to the Emissary and Creature, because their main removal would be Solitude, right? Solitude Ending. Yeah, I'm also tired of everything devolving into this conversation too. So I'm trying to rant about it and just move on a little bit. Maybe I'm not succeeding. But as tired as you are of it, I'm probably more tired because I have to bear the nerd rage. The trend we see as paper magic becomes red flood. Do you think that's just natural? Paper magic, I don't. These comments, it's paper magic is becoming less relevant. The 90% of the reason for that is because of COVID. 90% of the reason for paper magic becoming less relevant is COVID, and it's just COVID is still around. It's still a huge problem. 2,000 Americans died yesterday from COVID. It's just it's just still is a big deal, you know? And it's still just not very easy for Wizards to push paper magic because of this. And it's really, I think to imply that it's anything else is just disingenuous or wrong. I don't know. Now, let's keep this. Okay, we can move on though. I think I've ranted enough. Or have I? Yes, I have. Alright, thank you everybody for enduring that. Dang it, I was made this whole thing about not having any hot takes, and then there I go. With hot takes. Okay, I'm gonna get Serra's Emissary in the yard. I feel pretty good about playing around the Sanctifier last game. Yeah, we need some ice cold takes to cool off for sure. Tactic points I'm making. There's room for legitimate criticism of Watsy about Arena. LG Watsy's trying to compare Magic. Yeah, I agree, Hawkfeather. I absolutely agree. Like that's you know the main point I'm trying to make is that, and that maybe it didn't come across very well because I'm you know not a super articulate person, admittedly. But yeah, that is like the heart of what I'm trying to say is like. There's lots of stuff to be critical of Watsy of. Like, we can have these conversations. We've had these conversations plenty of times. But it's like, I don't know, like, it's hard. I'm seeing the kind of comments you're talking about. Like, I'm trying to, like, just dispel, like, the dumb conspiracy stuff. And try to get us to a more productive place. Because I would say that, like, my chat is... You know, I don't want to brag too much, but I will. You know, but this chat is, I think, way better at having productive conversations on average than the average Twitch chat. I have found this place to be, you know, good and productive and, you know, actually able to have reasonable conversations on the internet, which is not something that happens all that often, you know. So I'm going to play the Priest of Felrates this turn. And then Solitude, Ephemerate, the Cauldra, then exile Remorseful Cleric and Sanctifier with the other two Solitude triggers, then Unmarked Grave for Archon. Yeah, it's kind of shocking to me that the stream has maintained this size, and of course things do devolve sometimes, and things are, you know, not great sometimes. But I would say the vast majority of chats we have, conversations we have, are like actually like reasonable and like we can actually have a conversation, which is really strange for the internet. Okay, so my opponent is not going for Cauldra, which is not good for me. I think I'm still doing this. I can go Solitude, Exile Sanctifier. Ephemerate Solitude, see if they might Solitude my own Solitude, but even if they do, I can Fatal Push their Remorseful Cleric next turn, and then Unmarked Grave. Not enough dick, yeah, not enough dick jokes here. Although in Nico's chat, it's not a dick joke. It's you know very serious. Where they cast Malachor Rebirth. Oh, but then they can sack it. I see. Yeah, there aren't a ton of dick jokes here, but in Nico's chat, they have serious conversations about penises. Oh no, that was a really good grief. Good grief indeed. Again, is Cauldra mystery card though? I guess we're still really ahead, for whatever that's worth. Yes, how is everyone's penis today? Alright, push the Remorseful Cleric. They're just F6. How do you F6 with Remorseful Cleric in play? I guess they could probably un-F6 pretty easy. Mulldrifter in play. And just Cauldra mystery card. Exile my Priest. I think I'll attack with just the Solitude here. We definitely have like the late game inevitability. Wait, they blocked? I guess they just didn't want me to keep gaining the life. Next turn, if I draw a land, I could go Mending, discard Priest, Archon, and Reanimate. Yeah. This is a great example of like why Mulldrifter is so good. You just have so many games where your opponent's like, my opponent mulled to 5, and they're like, I've got Sanctifier against the Archon deck, and you just Mulldrifter them. Priest has also really impressed me. I think this is like the first Reanimator deck where I've really liked Priest. But it's just like so good with Mulldrifter. Gives you that extra density of reanimation spells in the 80 card deck. It's a black and white spell for Grief and Solitude. What's my best homebrew modern deck I built this year? I don't know. It's up to you to decide, I guess. I don't really like to brag or boast or synonym for brag. What I like to do is just build decks and hope that people enjoy them and like them and build them themselves and let them form their own opinions of me and the channel. Tooting my own horn? Yeah, none of that. No tooting. So looks like we're playing against Murktide, of course. I'm going to get a Watery Grave here. I don't think I'm going to play around main deck Blood Moon, although I have been got recently by main deck Blood Moon for whatever that's worth. Who enjoyed? Yeah, I like the Vampire Pucks deck a lot. That deck's really fun. Maybe I'll return to it soon. I did some Hell Trophy with that deck. Thought about mainboard endurance and John to combat Lurrus control. Yeah, I think that's fine. The problem, of course, is that you have like infinity options at 3 mana. You know what I mean? You just have your curve is really clogged at 3 mana in Jund. So, you have a lot of good options, but you can't play more than like 10 3 mana spells at very most, and even that's like really pushing it. You probably want like 8 to 9. I'm doing an old tyrant. How you doing? What may want to try Priest in this? Well, we just talked about it, but Priest is really good in this version where it's like you've got the full 4 Mulldrifters and 4 Wandering Mind to let Priest reanimate like early creatures early to like just filter through your deck. It's a black and white card for Solitude and Grief, and of course in this 80 card version, it's really important that like you have a density of reanimation effects. You know, I'm not going to Solitude this Ragavan. I'm just going to take the hit. Exile and Archon. I think I'm just casting Grief. Most mana efficient play. Resolved, okay. Lightning Bolt, Iteration, Ragavan, consider. I think I just like taking that iteration there. And they're gonna bolt my Grief, and then maybe I'll Solitude this Ragavan, so I can resolve it to Teferi. I also have the Priest of Fell Rites to get back a Solitude if I draw a land, so that's a little bit of insurance against the Murktide Regent. So their hand is Consider, Ragavan, Mystery card. Which deck more busted, Hogak or White Blue Eldrazi with Ayavugan? I think Hogak would probably stomp Eldrazi, would be my guess. Yeah, maybe people have been playing the banned Gauntlet and can confirm or deny. Oh, they drew Murktide for turn, which is actually like really good for us because we have the Teferi. Eldrazi smashes. Okay, maybe you're right. That would, I could have a wrong and wait. Sorry, dang it, the bit is ruined already. I could have an impression that's not correct about Hogak, huh? Yeah. I will say about the Ban Gauntlet, it's like the Oko deck looks really bad to me. The Pod deck looks kind of like it's playing Archangel Thune, which is a little weird. A lot of the Ban decks have like card choices I probably wouldn't have made. And then the Hogak list is just like a very, very strong version of Hogak. You know, it's like a very much powered up version, which doesn't really make that much sense to me. Okay, so their hand's gonna be Ragavan, Murktide. Archangel was common back in the day. I guess I'm misremembering. I thought that Archangel like was more common after Pod was banned, though. I will say I do love Archangel of Thune, though. It's one of my favorite Magic cards. Period. I love Archangel of Thune. I remember just like hustling when I was 19 to get 4 copies of Archangel of Thune for this like the green white. I had a green white deck built around the card in Standard, and you played Tristani and Advent of the Worm and Silverblade Paladin. Oh, I love that deck. I remember I top 8'd an SCG Invitational with it. I think. Yeah, I did. Try to remember if that's correct. I think it is. It was definitely a green-white list. It may have been like a slightly different version, to be honest. It's kind of funny how time corrodes and erodes the mind. I used to be so sharp and I used to be so focused, and now it's just like wearing away at me, and my mental state is crumbling to dust, and I'm just like... Remember when Splinter Twin was legal? I think that Splinter Twin was legal at some point. Anybody's mind corroded in the chat, huh? Got any corroded minds in the chat? They want to grief their Murktide. Oh, I didn't realize that would turn on the channeler. So I guess I should... I want to trade Solitude for Channeler. I think I would take that trade. I think I can draw step Grief. Okay, but now I will just exile the Channeler. What's the best Saga deck? I mean, probably Hammer Time. It's not what anybody wants to hear. What's the best Stoneforge deck? Probably Hammer Time. What's the best Saga deck? Probably Hammer Time. Okay, I have instant speed Rights up. The best Colossus Hammer deck? Now that's a good question. No, sorry, now that's a question, I should probably say. What's the origin of the Hammer decks? It's kind of all a little murky. I know that Tom Ross was like very early popularizing it before MH2. Like he was doing well with it. I don't know if it was his brew or not. But I would say that Tom Ross was the one that put the initial Hammer list on the map. I remember that Saffron Olive played a little bit of it too. I'm not sure beyond that. I'm sure somebody has the lore for us. Yeah, they usually bring in relics. I bring in like 2 Stony Silence. They don't have as like many artifact based pieces as like Jund Saga does, or the way to tutor them like Jund Saga does, so I only play 2. Didn't Crush Block kind of been here? Maybe, yeah, I don't know the lore. I don't know the lore. Yeah, I want to play some Fiddlebender soon. Maybe we can play some Fiddlebender today. I haven't played it all week, but I like that deck a lot. I need to pick up like the weird pieces I'm missing. Like I don't have a Crackdown Construct. I'm missing a few. I don't have a Crucible of Worlds. I think I'll put back the Stony Silence. Prismatic Ending can answer Relic, and I want to keep the Mending so that I can discard an Archon that I draw. It's also true to remember that in these kind of spots, you're going to always want to fetch Sacred Foundry, Watery Grave, because those 2 combinations of fetch land or shock lands allow you to cast Mending, Priest of Felrites, and Wandering Mind, which is key. I like that draw. What's the Fiddlebender deck? I've got a mono white Oswald Fiddlebender artifact based mid-range mono white brew. I know that's a lot of words, but I like the deck a lot. It's one of my favorite decks to play at the moment. Do you see the Fiddlebender deck having legit legs? I think the deck is great. People always do this. They're like, isn't Fiddlebender just worse than Hammer Time? But it's a really bad comparison. It's a completely different archetype. Hammer Time is an aggro combo deck. This Fiddlebender is, you know, it's mid range. It's mid range combo, I guess. It used to be just mid range before the combo, but it's like the Fiddlebender deck is like very good against like blue-white control. It's like good against the Solitude decks in a way that the Hammer Time is really weak to Solitude. Fiddlebender is very strong against the Solitude decks, and the two decks play incredibly differently. And it's like, I know that there is a decent amount of overlapping cards, but I just don't think it's like very good to compare the two that hard. Oko, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Should you have played in Vegas? Maybe. I remember thinking that like there was like a pretty good chunk of my matches I felt like I would have won if I was, or like at least I feel like the Jund Saga matchup's decent, and those are all of my losses. And I was kind of thinking maybe I would have won my other matches with Fiddlebender. It's hard to tell, of course, though, right? It's really easy to go back. Oh, I should have played this. I should have played that. But Red Black also did win Vegas, you know. Backwards Tuna Sub. What a good username. Do you want to cast the Persist this turn? I think I do. Oh, I usually like to save the Mending. This probably gets countered, but I've got the Priest to get the Mulldrifter back next turn, even if they kill it. Play around Blood Moon, please. I haven't really had the opportunity to play around Blood Moon until like this next turn when I get the Plains. Maybe I could have played the. Yeah, I guess I could have played the. Wait, did I have the Mesa in hand last turn? No, I had Bloodstained Mire, Glacial Fortress. I just drew the Mesa. So I guess I could have played the Mesa this turn instead of the Swamp. Yeah, that would have been better. Yeah, you're right. That would have been better to play around Blood Moon. Yeah, I wish I had heard the winner talk about me too. That would have been really cool. I didn't get to see the interview. Okay, I've got a Prismatic Ending for the Jays. And they plus. Awesome. Yeah, I should have played the Arid Mesa for Plains last turn. I'll do that this turn. White, black, red, blue. I'll leave up Fatal Push, you know, pretend Fatal Push, right? How common is Murktide play? Blue-red Murktide basically always plays like 2 or 3 Blood Moon in the sideboard. And here comes the Murktide. Yeah, sometimes they main deck Blood Moon, which is like that's like, you know, that's the reason to play blue-red over Jeskai is access to Blood Moon, and so if you really like it that much, maybe main decking it does make some sense. All right, let's Priest back Mulldrifter here. Could be good to Mending. Like, obviously, if I hit Archon, Mending is better. Could have Mending and Flash back this turn, gain 4. Both lines seem fine. Don't mind those. So I'll chump block if they attack with the Regent. I mean, okay, when they attack. If I still have the Mulldrifter in play, when they attack with the Regent, I should say. Was there a lot of paper card mistakes in Vegas because people have been MTGO? I'm sure, yeah. I made some mistakes. I missed like 2 bobble triggers, which I feel really bad about. I also was on 3 hours of sleep and I got the flight that morning. Yeah, I try to avoid strong absolutes and hot takes. It can be kind of difficult to do. I'm just so full of strong opinions. Alright, dead to another Murktide, dead to a Lightning Bolt. Exactsies. Rough stuff. Do get to be on the play for game 3, though. Not going to look to see what the top of my library would have been. I was trying to explain to Mr. Jund Saga how Voidwalker casts Lurrus for free. Oh, right. Yeah. I'm going to keep this hand. Trying to think how I'm going to sequence my mana, though. Because I would like to try to play around Blood Moon. But I probably have to go Marty Triome on one. There's no the Voidwalker Lurus thing. My opponent just thought that you had to spend mana for Voidwalker. I think. I was just explaining it to him. Okay, love not to see Ragavan with my hand. Okay, let me get Swamp here. And then I think I'm just going to put an Archon in the yard. Of course, we're all rooting for Nassif this weekend. Everyone here rooting for Nassif every weekend, all the time. And if not, you can get out. Okay, so I think I like playing Priest this turn since it allows me to play around Blood Moon a bit better than casting the Wandering Mind here. There's the Innistrad Set Championship this weekend. Put a card on top. How much of a difference is having 28 lands versus 30 lands? It's 2 lands difference. You're welcome. That'll be $5 a month. That'll be $5 a month. To put a card on top, they probably should have fetched before bobbling, right? I think Goyf is bad. No, I think Goyf is good. I've been liking Tarmogoyf lately.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Unexistent. Thanks for the cheer. Ah, sorry, Esther. Tough stuff. Alright, with that draw, I think I'm just going to play the Wandering Mind. It'll be fine. You're just going to get yelled at. Just take the L. Take the L. Alright, oh no, they drew the card they kept on top off the bubble already. So if we can fade Graveyard Hate here. If we can fade Graveyard Hate here, we're going to be doing okay. Put a card on top with the Iteration. So that's bad. What if I wake up 20 minutes late? I don't. You guys, somebody's gotta appreciate the fact that I'm on time every single day. Somebody, please. Rites next turn. Well, I'm probably gonna Priestify Rites to play around counterspell instead. Yeah, it should be right on time every day. You don't have to have a good personality. You don't have to play interesting decks to be popular on Twitch. You just have to be on time. Gozak, thank you for the tier 1 for 3 months. Put the money where your mouth is. You're welcome for the math on 28 versus 30. I don't think you'd do it. Bear, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, you want a Priest here to play around Counterspell. Yeah, I should get a free trophy for a physical 4th trophy for perfect attendance. Well, I did take days off for Vegas and stuff, so. No! No! I've been destroyed by the dress down. Wait, does this still? Hold on. It's still. I guess so. I still get to attack. But why do I get to attack? I don't know. That's nuts, dude. Good beats. They have 5 cards in their hand. I lost my uncounterable reanimation spell. My opponent dressed down in response to me unearthing Priestify Rites, and I lost the match. They put a card on top, so I have a hard time imagining my opponent can't counter this Rites. If all they have is 1 counterspell, we can win, but it's kind of hard for them to only have that with 2 channelers. You can only activate Priest as a sorcery. Oh wait, hold on. They're dressing down again. Okay, this is better for us this time. We get the Archon in play, you know. I mean, if they have Unholy Heat, that's, you know, it's still not the worst case scenario, I guess. I mean, it is it now, I suppose. So I guess I have to block to play around Bolt because I died to Bolt. They would have to brick so stupid hard for me to lose or for me to win. They sack Fiery Islet. They don't immediately heat. Now they're casting a Murktide Regent. Are they going to turn off Delirium on purpose? Yeah, we have to block because we don't beat Bolt anyways. Exactly. They're going to attack first. We have to block. We died to Bolt, so playing around Bolt on the Archon doesn't make any sense. Winning this game would be really absurd. Okay, I'm just gonna attack first. If they block, we get to reanimate potentially. I might Mending first to see if I draw Ephemerate. Oh no, I guess I could have drawn into that. I didn't really think about that. We do go up to 9 here, so we don't die to just a Murktide attack. They counterspelled the Mending? I have Rites in my yard! Is their last card Surgical? They must have forgotten about the Rites. I can't believe it. We would have drawn the Ephemerate. I can't believe we were going to win this game. I can't believe we won this game. We were... that dress down was a crazy blowout. That was one of the... Okay, we're still really ahead, but that was like the best possible top deck by a lot. If we draw land, we get to hardcast Archon. Okay. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Stopped me in my tracks. Oh, man. They had 2 channelers. They had so many surveils. They had so many surveils. Probably mulliganing this. Not a bad hand. Murktide again? With 3 baubles. This isn't a 0-lander keep, right? With 3 baubles. Any replacement you can recommend for Sentinel and Stoneblade? Sentinel is one of the main reasons to play Blue-White Stoneblade, to be honest with you. It's like really the only good 1-mana creature to play too. You would have to probably play Chalice of the Void. Alright, I guess we're gonna... I know we have heard from a random MTGO opponent that there are Reddit leaks that this is not going to be legal forever. I kind of feel like personally maybe they should have pre-banned Grief, like maybe like before it was even legal in the format in the first place, banned it. We even get around the Force of Negation. But what are you going to do? They do get to draw a few cards, though. Oh wait, no, they cracked their bubbles first. That's so lucky for us. Gosh. Am I serious about them banning Grief? I'm serious that we had an MTGO opponent who said that there were Reddit leaks about them banning Grief. But no, that's ridiculous. They're not going to ban it. It's silly. A silly comment from a silly opponent. It is not real. It's like, in fact, like hilariously not real. It's also like hilarious to imply that Wizards knows what they're going to ban in Modern, like months ahead of time or like weeks ahead of time, and they don't just like decide this like, you know, at once and then do it. Wait, how did this? Okay, how did this take this long? how did my draws are Channeler and Holy Heat? How was that? How did it take that long for that turn to happen? Okay, so we need to draw a land so we can bounce this Murktide, I guess. Yeah, for the Pioneer bans, they like all those bans were decided over lunch. It just became like this recurring meme. Do Wizards do make announcements? Not anymore. But even those are like a week ahead of time. You know what I mean. It's not like we did draw the land. Awesome. Those they don't make these decisions super far ahead of time. And it's also like to imply that Grief would be banned is just ridiculous. It just makes no sense. It do be funny though. So opponent's hand is Canal, Murktide, mystery card, right? Would have WotC bans ever made sense? There are plenty of bans that have made sense. In fact, I feel like for maybe the last year they've done a good job with the ban list, like not waiting too long to ban cards and stuff. I'm trying to think of like the last time I like really hated a ban decision. Like I think that when they banned Bridge, that was kind of ridiculous. Bridge and not Hogak or Looting, but then they banned Hogak and Looting. Oh, when they banned Golos! Oh, but it wasn't Wizards who banned Golos. It was... I don't really know how it works, to be honest. I don't know how the EDH ban list works. Does anybody know? Simeon's Spirit Guide was a good ban. There were, I believe, 4 decks that could kill you on turn 1 when Simeon's Spirit Guide was legal. It was Neobrand... Ooh, that's pretty good. Neobrand, Oops All Spells, Belcher. Am I forgetting one? Maybe it was just 3. But there's also like the Cascade Tibble decks and Simeon Spirit Guide. You needed to go. I'm sorry. Don't know what to say. Viewing Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time was also too good for Modern. I think that was a needed ban as well. Okay, they kept a card on top. Kind of scared of that. Well, shout out to Yorion. Wish I could just cast you from the companion zone, though. Adnals couldn't kill you on turn 1. Counterspell on the top. Bummer. Swingy game, though. Swingy game. This is still the sideboard plan. Cut the Greaves, cut a Priest. Those top decks, too, of Priest of Fell Rites plus Unholy Heat were kind of perfect. I guess Ragavan maybe would have been better. Close for sure. Can't Grief the top of their deck. I feel like I'm forgetting a deck that would just existed that would kill you on turn 1, though. It was Belcher, Oops All Spells, Neobrand. I feel like there was one more. Maybe I'm just misremembering. There's the Cascade Tibble deck. There was Tibble's Trickery too. Maybe I'm just thinking of Tibble's Trickery. Amulet could theoretically kill turn 1, but it didn't place. It like didn't do that, you know. It just because Amulet theoretically can kill on turn 1 with a Spirit Guide doesn't mean like it ever happened. Like there were real decks that would kill you on turn 1 in Modern for a while. Like it was just something that happened. Like Force of Negation was at an all-time high, while Simeon Spirit Guide was legal for a while because there were just 3 decks that just could kill you on turn 1. One of them could even do it through Force of Negation. The Oops All Spells deck could just kill you through Force of Negation on turn 1. Amulet, yeah. I know that Amulet never killed on turn 1. It is theoretically possible though if you go Simeon Spirit Guide, Amulet into like triple Grazer or something crazy. You have to have like a perfect 7-card hand. We're playing Stony Silence because they bring in Relic of Progenitus. We're not bringing Stony Silence just for Mishra's Bauble. This is for Relic of Progenitus. And it does also hit Bauble, which is nice. Why don't you put Leyline on the side? It's kind of complicated. Like, Leylines are worse than 80-card decks in general. And it's also true because we're playing an 80 card deck, we need to have more copies of our other cards too to like have more cohesive sideboard plans. Don't really have room for the ley lines. Why does multiplayer seems bad to exile down graveyard? Well, they have control over when they exile their graveyard is the thing. Am I not remembering Gristlebrand? I was putting that as Neobrand. I guess Gristlebrand. Well, was it when looting was banned? Yeah, in that time frame, looting was banned. Gristlebrand wasn't really a thing. Okay, keep this. Get the Marty Triumph, I guess. Was Uro that bad? Yes, it was. I was so sick of Uro. It was unfun to play with, unfun to play against, and it was like too good as well, in my opinion. Mike, thank you for Switch Prime. Appreciate you. Well, that's a really good draw. Spooky for the 24 months. Appreciate ya. I guess it's maybe good to play Teferi because that makes the... I could lose to Blood Moon, but I can maybe force him to have Counterspell plus Blood Moon. I don't know. This Mending and putting Archon in the yard also seems really nice with Fatal Push Up. 2 years of Spookin'. You like Band Control if they got a Triumph? I think I'm playing Band Control in the challenge tomorrow, but yeah, a Triumph would be huge for that deck, of course. If they target themselves, they should have a fetch land if they target themselves, right? They did take a while to ban Uro Mystic Sanctuary. That's true, yeah. I think they Uro Sanctuary Fields of the Dead were probably in the format a little longer than they maybe should have been. But it wasn't super egregious. Damn it. Ah. Well, we could draw Mulldrifter, I guess. We draw a Black Sword. Okay, let's just rip the Swamp or Plains off the top. Swamp, Plains, Mulldrifter, these or Wandering Mind are the good draws, I guess. So we have like 10 good draws. It's not too bad. Okay, and then Solitude also, of course, is like, you know, at least castable. Can't play with Yorion, play 30 lands with Hierarch. Don't see why not. Looks like they can play a 4/4 Murktide. Let's draw basic Swamp. Ah! Okay, let's draw it right now. Let's draw the one basic swap out of 65 cards. I mean, Wandering Mind is a good draw, at least. Problem is it can't find Ursa lands, but it is a castable, relevant spell. I guess I'll take a Teferi. Solitude the Murktide. Oh, the Plains went to the bottom. That's sad. Yeah, the Plains would have also let us bounce the Blood Moon. They've got 3 cards in their hand. I've got a 12-turn clock. They pop the Relic. Heat the Wandering Mind. 3 cards in hand. 4 cards in hand. So the Plains is on the bottom of the library now. Can be tough to win this one. This may be where the run ends. Why don't you put Wear Tear in this match? Wear Tear is not as good against Relic Progenitus. I bring Stony Silence for Relic. You can play against around Blood Moon with a lot of your draws too. Like you have the ability to fetch basics with some of your draws. We didn't really have with this draw though. It's also like you have to have white mana up the turn they cast the Blood Moon, or you lose. Let me concede. And Yeah, I think it's just better to play around the Blood Moon rather than... We also have Prismatic Ending for Blood Moon too. Like if you can fetch Plains and another basic, then you have Ending for Blood Moon or Teferi. You just can't do it with every draw. Playing against Second Shot again, who's been playing Prowess every time we played against them. Why not Grixis Shadow? Mostly on account of me wanting to play what I want. That would be the main reason. Maybe I'll want to play Grixis Shadow at some point though. Alright, so yeah, assuming that's what my... Oh, they didn't reveal Lurrus though. Okay, maybe they're on something else. Am I cutting 2 red and 6 for 2 birds? I mean, it's not the worst idea. I don't think I'm necessarily in for it though. Okay, just off the Lurrus Companion now. I think you can't cut the first red and 6. You can cut the second maybe. I think recently I cut the second for the third Unearth, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I don't necessarily think my priest is surviving here. My opponents also have like a really, really poor opening hand. Yeah, they should have lighted the stage before playing their lands. I'm gonna get Plains and cast Wandering Mind, I suppose. And then if we can find Persist, we can Archon next turn. Man. Love that, huh? It is also possible that we'll want... No, we have a Priest of the Felright, so yeah, we're just gonna Archon next turn. Am I gonna block? I'll probably block. I think the Yorion version better to bring to a 2K tournament that was 60. I think that this version is just better than the 60 card version. I recommend this version over the 60 card version that I was playing before. Full stop. Kind of scary. It'd be pretty wild if the Archon gets overpowered here. Definitely possible. Ezra, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. I would definitely prefer to, you know, not chump block with my Raveler. They have a Lava Dart, they have a Firebolt in the yard. They start to turn off with a Mishra's Bauble. 2 cards in hand. The Lava Dart effectively puts me to 17 plus 8. Sorry, minus 8. So I'm effectively at 9 life right now. It's not that low. Lightning Bolt deals 5. So I lose to... If their hand is any combination of 2 Lava Darts or Lightning Bolts, I'm dead. But both cards have to be Lava Dart or Lightning Bolt. I'm gonna take it. Okay, they sack the Canyon, so they have to have drawn... Okay, Manamorphose. Didn't really consider this. I think I'm dead to 1 Lava Bolt or Lightning Dart. Why don't you welcome Priest in the yard? I take 3 from the Priest, and then they get to keep their Channeler, and I have to like chump block again. They keep their Raveler. I probably have to chump block again the next turn. I'm in like way better position if I just get to survive this turn. Jeez. Xaxes. Like they have to have a really strong hand with them only having 2 cards. Like Manamorphose into Bolt just isn't that likely. I think I was okay taking the L there. I'll play 2 Stony Silence, maybe 3. Let's play 3. Would Emissary an instant be good? It's like if you name creature, they can like kill you with instants if you name. If you name instants they can kill with creatures, it's kind of tough. It's probably fine, right? But I think Archon is usually going to be better. Okay, let's keep this. I think we'll put back the Priest. But it's also mulled to 6. Deck tech for Hate's Pain. This is just... What are my thoughts on Colossus versus Karn mainly? Well, so I formed an opinion that I really liked Colossus, but I also formed this opinion when I was playing a lot of Yorion decks, you know? And that's like really where Colossus shines, is overpowering the control decks, the Yorion decks, the grindy matchups. Karn is way better against, you know, not those matchups. I don't really like this main deck Explosives very much. You can't tutor it off Saga. I guess you can get it off the Teleria West though. It's maybe okay. But I like Colossus, I'll say. I think that 2 Colossus feels like a good number. I am a little bit lower on Colossus though, after I realized that you don't always you have to have a land in hand to start the chain. I didn't realize that was the case, and when I've been playing discard-based decks, Colossus is really bad against me because they just don't have any lands to like start the chain. I thought you always drew a card, but that's not the case. So, you know, I'm not the best person to ask about this. I haven't really been playing the deck. Asking like Canister or Eyelash or Doomwake or... I think Doomwake's been playing Amulet. Someone who's been playing, you know, these decks is going to have a better... Fran, of course, Fran's going to be like the best person to ask. That's going to be a better use of your deck tech, I think. I think I'm going to play the Priest this turn, and then next turn, if I draw land, I can go Mulldrifter plus Ephemerate, and then maybe just let them trade Soul Guide Lantern for Priest. We'll see. But I like Colossus. I think I like Colossus more than Karn, but I also am just not the right person to ask. You know what I mean? What do you think of the red block that won MTG Vegas? Pretty cool deck list. Pretty cool deck list. I think it's a very good deck. One of my favorite decks in the format. Pretty neat, nifty deck list, that one. Okay, Bolt the Priest. 4/5 Swift Spear, 3 cards in hand. Okay, so drawing a land here will be pretty key, I think. So I think we still evoke Mulldrifter. Pretty dead, I guess. I've ever considered trying to untap Lotus Field to Teferi and a Control Shell. Yep. I don't know if this is bait or not, but the answer to your question is yes. I have. I've played a lot of that deck, actually. Ugh. Alright, rough stuff. 3-0 into 3-2 feels pretty bad. Let's give it one more go with Reanimator, and then I think I want to give a Fiddlebender a try, and we'll see after that.